hardcore Minecraft world is growing in size by the day. But unfortunately, my storage system has grown to reflect that. My entire world is extremely messy with just straight chests everywhere. So today, I aim to fix that by making a massive storage bunker under my world. The goal is to make it as nice and cozy as possible while still being super duper functional. Before we get into it, if you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing as we are creeping up on 30,000. Other than that, let's get right into it. Alrighty everybody, welcome back to the Forever World. As you can see behind me, in the last episode we went ahead and made this awesome farming cottage. Now the farm isn't 100% done just yet, but between episodes, I have been grinding to make this thing even better. Please ignore the grass pile on the side. I need to get rid of that. I was adding a planter on top of the house here. But let me give you the grand tour before we get started with anything else. I basically just went in and added a bunch of details to this house to make it super duper homey and nice. We got ourselves a little smelting nook with some extra storage. I didn't end up putting anything in this room, but there is still room for activities if we want to throw something in here. And then when we go upstairs, we have my bedroom. That's right, we had a bedroom over in the other house over there, but I like this one so much better. I don't know how to explain this. A cottage just feels so much more like me than a battle house over there. I don't know if you can see it through the leaves. I just like this so much better. We'll go ahead and expand this thing as we continue in this series. We also have a little area up here that I made, which like we could technically use, but this is just like a little attic. Maybe we put our armor stands up here or something like that. I don't know. It's not really useful right now. But with the tour over, I did want to go ahead and talk about what I mentioned in the intro. As you can see right there, we have a ton of just crap laying everywhere. Our chests are so unorganized, and I really don't like where they are either. This was supposed to be just a little temporary nook base, and whenever we got our actual base, I didn't really have any place to put anything. And yeah, I could end up using some of the storage inside of this base, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like just having junk all in these chests. They're supposed to be cosmetic. I don't really like having everything super duper messy. So today, instead of dealing with our problems, we're just gonna be hiding them. That's right, underneath this base, we're gonna continue this staircase down and make a super huge underground bunker underneath all of this farming land. So we can put all of our tools, we can put all of our smaller farms, we can put all of our storage, and just have a nice place to put everything so we don't have to look at it. We can just stay and look at this lovely build, right guys? Now, I know that that's all well and good, but we can't go ahead and start just yet. We don't have the resources for it. Yeah, I have diamond tools, but they have literally no enchantments on them. And if there are any mobs whenever we go and mine out the area, I got really crappy armor. So, before we get started with any of that, there is some chores I need to go ahead and tick off. It's gonna be annoying, but we are going to have to go mining. I'll spare you a lot of the extra details, but, you know, we gotta get some better gear, that's for sure. Oh, and also you may have seen me doing it, but I added a mod in between videos, which makes it so that when I right-click fully grown wheat, oh, here's an example. It just gives me the wheat and replants, so I don't have to manually replant. And it also pops off a little bit of XP. I had some conversations with some people in my Discord server talking about different ways of getting XP, and the consensus was that all of the big XP farms are kind of boring, and nobody really wants to make them. So for now, until we get a good XP farm, our actual farm will be that for us. But like I said earlier, it is time to do the grueling task of going and getting a bunch of diamonds. We have a few left over from before whenever we went to go make that enchantment table in the last episode. Yeah, we have 4 right here, but that's just not gonna be enough. We need a ton of diamonds. My goal right now is to get full diamond armor. If that's gonna be possible, I'm not too sure, but I mean, we'll try. We had seen this in the last episode as well when we were going to go get all of our diorite for the build, but this area down here is like a big ravine. I think there might be some openings when we go around. I don't actually know where any of them are though. I just remember hearing a bunch of mob sounds whenever we were exploring down here last time, so I'm just assuming there's an opening. Is this it? Nope, this is not an opening. Oh, but there are the mob sounds. Yep, okay. Oh, this is an opening. Yeah, okay, if I've ever seen one, this is it. All right, this is gonna be really, really, really dangerous. Luckily for me, we have a shader pack on, which makes the darkness of the caves a lot less, but it doesn't make me less of a noob. I just got 3 tapped by a zombie. That's That's definitely not good. We gotta stay extra careful. No amount of diamonds is worth this hardcore world. If I die, that's it. It's over. I know this is a forever world. By the way, I don't think I haven't been seeing your guys' comments. I know. The concept of a hardcore forever world is kind of a weird thing, but to me it just makes sense. You know, it adds stakes to the whole living around kind of situation. You know, I gotta play it safe. What's the point of a forever world if you don't have skin in the game, you know? Okay, we just gotta play extra careful. Oh my god, there are so many mobs down there. We need to get some torches. I'm going back up so we can get some coal. And you know what? While I'm over there, I might as well get myself my shield. I totally left it at home. Actually, I mean, we're in a cave. I might as well just make myself some, like, furnaces real quick, actually. And there we go. We got ourselves a shield and a little bit of extra coal. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop in a bunch of torches, just so we, A, know our way back home, and then B, don't have to deal with any mobs on our way back. Okay, I think the big aim of the game here is just gonna be evasion. If we can just stay away from all these mobs before they can get to us, I feel like that's gonna be super duper important. Oh, and of course the first thing I do is run into a corner. Let me just run around. Oh crap, I forgot we have modded creatures in this as well, so there are going to be a couple non-violent but still a nuisance mobs in this mod pack. It's very lightly modded. Again, the mod pack is going to be in the description. There's a Discord server, which is where I keep all my files, so if you want to see what those mods are, they're all there. But until then, we just got to focus on not dying. We got a crowd of people after us. Okay, just stay mobs, stay back. Okay, I'm not doing autographs right now. You could just stay over there. This is deep slate. It's going deeper. I know I'm not commentating very much because there's not really much. I don't see any diamonds, so there's not much to commentate. Oh, I almost just looked at those endermen over there, but oh, there's diamonds down there. Okay, we have our goal. It looks like there's a lot of them too. Oh my god, there's so many freaking spiders. Stay back. I don't want to deal with you. Okay, I'm commentating weird because I'm overwhelmed, but pretty much, you see, there's a bunch of diamonds down there. It looks like there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I see one over here as well. 5 veins of diamonds over there. We're definitely gonna have to go down there, but it is incredibly dangerous. We gotta play this safe, guys. I am not looking to lose this world. Hopefully that should be all the diamonds that we need, and then we can just leave forever. We never have to say hello to another cave in our entire lives. That would be fantastic. That would be great. Okay, I got an achievement. I'm not really worried about that right now. Can you just, like, shoot that? Yeah, shoot this out. No, the zombie's still after me. Okay, this is bad. Okay, we got to take care of him. That's enough of that. I am done with skeletons for now. Let me go ahead and light up this area just so I can snag these diamonds. I'm getting achievements left and right. I'm overstimulated. Let me just grab these freaking diamonds so I can get out of here, game. Thank you. Okay, we got 11 diamonds from that haul. That was significantly more difficult than it needed to be, but I mean, we got a little bit of diamonds, so I can't really complain. I do see some more easy ones down there. All I gotta do is swim up that water. Can I just make this jump? I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, okay, if I couldn't, that would have been bad. It's kind of difficult to see water pools because of my shader pack, but I think we're all good. Now, this is gonna be where it gets interesting. I am underwater right now. Please do— oh, that's lava! No, you know what? Those diamonds might be a little more difficult to get than I thought. Okay, hang on, watch this. Okay, they burned. Okay, great. So we don't need those diamonds anymore. Lesson learned. Well, that just means we need more diamonds from a different place. I don't see any nearby, so this is not fantastic. I guess we just gotta go search for some more. That's great. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not a fan of the underground. This place is definitely not made for me. I'm a builder, not a miner. This is not where I am meant to be. Would you look at that? There's some diamonds. Be careful. Make sure there's no lava. Okay, we got the diamonds. Let's get out of this little one by one. Okay, I think that's it. We got 23 diamonds, and we have 4 back at the base. I think we're done. Because you need 24 to make a diamond armor. I think we're good. And then we have an enchantment table back. Oh my gosh. That just scared the freak out of me. Okay. Yeah, I gotta pay a little bit more attention. That's something that I've always been scared of. That's why I don't go ravine mining most of the time. Because when creepers are above you, if they drop below you, even if they die of fall damage, they can still one-shot you. So I just gotta be careful. That was a sign to pay attention and get out. Oh crap, hang on a second. That's a geode. Okay, before we leave, I want to snag a little bit of this amethyst. I want to make myself a spyglass. Okay. Get the amethyst and then gonna get out. Okay, a little bit of a side detour, but it was worth it. Now we go home. Let's just get inside before mobs spawn. Okay, they're already spawning. This is great. What a fantastic adventure for the jumbo variety. This is great. I'm just gonna go to bed. Screw this place. Well, that sure was eventful, but at least we got ourselves 23 diamonds. That is one shy of making ourselves full diamond armor. And we do actually have a diamond in that chest out there. I just have to be careful not to blow everything up. And I'm just gonna run away and just wait for all the mobs to despawn, and then I can come home. Oh, and by the way, I completely forgot to mention it. I was gonna show you guys this whenever at the beginning of the video, but I actually added this path in between builds. And also, as I'll show you up here, this path snakes over a little bit of the water, so I added a little bit of a ramp here. I hope you guys don't mind me doing this off camera, but it was just kind of a boring grind, but I think it looks really neat. I mean, it's big enough to put a horse over it as well, so if we end up getting Horsey back, we can still bring him back. And you know, it snakes all the way over here into the old base. So honestly, I quite like it. You know, it's a good way to connect the builds, and you know, maybe when we continue and expand in this area, we can add more roadways and just, you know, continue the road. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Well, I can't really tell from over here, but I think all of those mobs have now despawned. So let's just go back so we can grab our diamonds and make ourselves our armor. Then, once we go ahead and make all of our diamond armor, look at that, cover me in diamonds, bang, we can quickly enchant it. Now, before I do that, I actually think I have a couple of books for a bookshelf. Now, the big question is, do I remember where I put them? The answer is probably no. Aha! There we go, some books. Not enough for like a full bookshelf, but I mean, it's something. Yeah, we don't have quite enough for a full enchantment setup, but I mean, it's gonna be something for now, and realistically, protection 2 is better than protection nothing, so we might as well just invest while we're here. And let's see what we get. Okay, this is just a bunch of poo-poo caca. We're gonna have to expand this in the future and get some actually like good enchantment setup, but I mean, for now, I guess protection 1's okay. I'll take it. I mean, protection 1 on everything just seems pretty good. Feather falling, I do like feather falling. That one also has unbreaking. You know what? All things considered, it's not bad. It is an upgrade from our old armor, and it will allow us to mine out that massive area below the base to make our storage area without fearing for our lives. It's also just, you know, necessary. We're on episode 3 at this point, and I really don't want to have to risk losing everything so far. I feel like that would be pretty bad. Oh, and look, I'm catching myself contributing to the chest monster here. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This will be fixed later. I just don't care enough to not worry about chests right now. I don't want to organize just yet. That's later in the video. But while we're here, we might as well collect all of our wheat. This thing has grown up huge. This is great. All right, awesome. We just got over a stack of wheat from our farm and a bunch of seeds to hopefully finish this thing off. I also have a bunch of these crops, which I can actually go ahead and just destroy right now. This was just something to hold me over while I was building the farm, you know, like wheat takes a while to grow, and also you need 3 of it to make 1 bread, so I grabbed a bunch of temporary food just to keep myself alive while I was building. But, I mean, now we have enough wheat, we can just go ahead and get rid of it. Okay, so it wasn't quite enough to finish the farm, but it was close enough, you know, we made quite a lot of progress, and that's really all I care about. This place is looking spectacular, and it's functional. Look at this. We can go ahead and make ourselves a bunch of bread. Look at that. Boom. Almost a stack of bread. That's literally perfect. All right. I'm gonna keep distracting myself for a little bit here, but we are actually gonna go ahead and start on the build. I am really excited to see how this looks when we're done with it, but for now, we actually gotta get the infrastructure in place. In order to do that, though, we need a place to get down. You know, we're going underground, so we gotta mine out a nice area before that. I went ahead and set this up with some details beforehand, but I'm not gonna lie, we gotta get rid of you, Mr. Lectern. We are going down. We're gonna go ahead and continue the oak slabs approach. I want it to look like this. I think so. We're gonna get rid of that crafting table furnishing right there. Or we could just put it right here, I think. You know, I still like to keep my interiors functional, so we gotta keep that there. But we're gonna go ahead and just extend this stairway down as far as makes sense. I feel like we shouldn't go too far down, just, you know, far enough so we can, you know, get below this floor, just so I don't, like, when I'm 5 blocks above from below, I don't want to be able to see this roof, is pretty much all I want. That's a horrible explanation, but I think you may understand. I don't know. I pretty much just don't want to disturb above. That'd be great. Okay, I think we are down far enough. Let me make an opening on this side, so we know which way is going to be the entrance into the build itself, and then we can go ahead and just replace all this with andesite and then bring down the stairway. And boom, that is literally perfect. It leads right into the entrance of the build. That is, wow, that's like scarily accurate. Okay, cool. Now, obviously, we're gonna have to go in and do some detail work to replace the sides, but I mean, that's like some crazy detail work. I don't really want to worry about that too much right now. At the moment, our big priority is just getting the infrastructure in place, which just means mining out this area and making making sure we have a nice cozy area to work with. It might be worth upgrading my pickaxe now that I think about it, but honestly, I don't think we're gonna get too much more efficient. Even with like efficiency 1 or 2, we're not gonna get crazy efficient. So I think for now I'm just gonna stick with the unbreaking 1. It does give us a good excuse to like let the farm grow, I guess. You know, the longer we're spending money. What the frick was that? What? Okay, I know I used to be a horror Minecraft YouTuber. I promise you, I did not add a single horror mod into this world. That is just a weird noise that just randomly played. I am going to bed. Yeah, miss me with that. The old reason I started this forever world is because I didn't want to do horror Minecraft anymore. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, absolutely not. You stay back, whatever that noise was. But whatever, getting back to the base building, I really want to mine up the area, and you know, it's gonna take a while, but using it as an excuse to keep the farm going. I'm gonna do some investigating. Give me 1 second. Okay, I went ahead and went into free cam real quick. I know it's a little cheaty, but I think I found the issue. I'm pretty sure it's these guys right here, which are stone miners from the Alex Caves mod. I think they just make scary noises when they're nearby, and there's a cave system down right there, so that might be an issue. I might go in and remove them between episodes, but I don't think we should worry about it too much. It's just spooky noises. But regardless, we got a task to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, let me go ahead and start up our first full time-lapse of the video. Enjoy the music. Okay, what a time-lapse. What a time-lapse. Okay, so basically, what ended up happening is I broke it down into 2 layers. This is going to be kind of difficult to explain, but stick with me. There's this scene from, it's Black Panther. I don't know if you remember this. There's, he's in a casino. Him and, like, some of the ladies are in the casino, and they go and fight the guy with the laser arm. I forget his name, but he stole vibranium. And inside, there's a casino and has multiple floors kind of like this, and the center is punched out. So it's like there's a railway around the side, and at the bottom, there's, like, all the casino games and stuff like that. And I saw that, and I was like, I want it. I want that in my world. So that's what this is gonna be. It's gonna be storage on top, and then to match the whole like secret bunker vibe, there's gonna be ulterior motives on the bottom that I'm gonna make. It's gonna be, you know, poker, pool, maybe like a little gambling machine here out of redstone. I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny. You know, there's like that game that's going around lately. It's called Gamble with Your Friends. One of my buddies, his name is Frosty, played it on stream with a couple of friends, and I was like, that seems like something fun to put in a base, just for fun, because why not? Because you can. That's what this world is about, you know, like just doing something because I can. Now, that's all well and good. We want something like that, but there is a small issue. We don't have any of the resources that are required to make a build like that. The stuff that I'm envisioning is stuff like dark oak, some deep slate, you know, get a couple different variations of color in there, maybe some stuff from the nether and stuff like that to bring like more color. And we don't have a single one of those things. So we're gonna have to go on a little bit of a journey, and that journey is going to require Mr. Horsey. If you don't remember from the last episode, we found a horse, and we named him, and then we promptly lost him, because I'm kind of bad at keeping pets. But we need him, so I'm gonna have to go find him. So that's gonna be its own journey, its own right. I'm pretty sure he's somewhere in this direction. I left him kind of by the lake, but I mean, odds are he's probably wandered a little bit since then. So I guess quest 1, before we get started with anything, is finding Horsey. Oh, I should also mention that my diamond pickaxe is about to break. I think we have just enough diamonds to replace it, but that's definitely not good. I think maybe waiting to enchant it might have been the play. It happens, you know. Mistakes were made. Ah! Is this Horsey? Oh, you are not the correct horse, but he does look kind of similar to you. Or is he in this little flock? Hello, Mr. Horsey. Okay, is this him? Oh, no, that's cheeky. Look, he's got like a spot on his back that looks like my saddle. I'm being so serious when I say this. I literally have zero idea where he could have gone. We dropped him off like right there whenever we went to go get a bunch of clay by the water. Like, I think it was literally right here. We shifted off and we went off to our devices to go look for some clay. And then in that time, he wandered so far away that it took me like 5 minutes of just, you know, wandering around and looking for him. And I still couldn't find him. So I think he either just got lost, or did he fall into a cave system? This is an underwater cave system. He probably didn't fall down there. I feel bad. I feel like a bad horse owner, but at the same time, it was totally on him. He was the one who picked up his 2 feet and ran away. So it's not on me on that part. I just feel bad because I don't know where he is, and he could be a danger. He's lost. All right, well, a day of searching and no horsey. It's becoming nighttime though, so I gotta go sleep real quick. I think what we might have to do is settle and get a second horse, at least until we find horsey again. The good thing about these modern versions is that you can actually craft a saddle, like we talked about last time, so I'm not too worried about losing that saddle. It's like low-key kind of cheap. It's just a couple pieces of leather and some iron. So I'm not too worried about that part. It's just the fact that I lost a horse is the issue. Okay, now here is Exhibit A as to why I need this storage system so bad. Okay, here's the leather and here's the iron, but if those were in any of these other chests, I would have had to root through all of this mess just to find it, that's definitely not fun. At least we were able to find it soon though, but it gives us a good reason to make that storage system. Oh, also, I kind of forgot to mention this, but while we're looking for a new horse to ride, I wanted to quickly mention thank you guys so much for all of the birthday remarks. Between episodes, if you didn't know this, I talked about it in my Discord community, but not on like stream or anything like that. I celebrated my 20th birthday between the last 2 episodes, and it was really, really, really fun. I went over to Florida to go hang out with some of my family. Are you freaking kidding me, horsey? I made a saddle for nothing. Okay, cool. Well, at least we found you. You know, happy birthday to me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all of the super duper kind birthday remarks. There was a lot of people, you know, wishing me happy birthday. I really appreciate that. It was a great time. I went to Epic Universe for the first time, and it was super duper duper fun. I don't know why I thought to bring it up, but I just wanted to say thank you. Anyway, the big goal right now that we found Mr. Horsey, ooh, there's a village up there. We need to find a dark oak biome, or alternatively, we need to find a super duper massive cave. That would also be pretty cool. I would also accept the new biomes. I would accept the, I think it's called Pale Oak. I would accept Pale Oak biome. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I think it's something like that. Just because I want the blocks for variation. You know, they're pretty neat. Oh, they're seals. You guys are adorable. Oh, I do need to stay away from the seagulls, though. They will steal my food. I do know that. That's something cool about these extra mods that we got going on. They don't really change the whole core Minecraft gameplay loop, but they sprinkle in some things that are a little bit more fun, you know? We got seals, we got seagulls, you know? Something to make it a little bit more interesting than just, oh, cool. There's a new type of tree and a new type of cave, you know? Not that that isn't cool. Okay, I mean, we got a jungle. Not quite what I'm looking for, but I mean, it's something. There's also a savanna over there. Again, not really what I'm looking for, but I mean, I'll take it. It's some variation, I guess. You know, if there's any melons inside of here, I might take those, actually. Aha, melons. Let's grab the cocoa beans, some melons, and what else is in here? There should be bamboo, right? Bamboo could be useful. I pretty much just want to grab everything from each of the biomes that is, like, exclusive to those biomes, so I pretty much never have to come back. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any bamboo in here. That's fine. Continuing the search. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes since that last clip. I just want to let you know, I'm currently 2,500 blocks out from my base, and I am not very happy, but I will say I have found something spectacular. Look at this mountain range. I am obsessed. I can't say we're gonna do anything right now, but eventually, like, think about this. Once we get an elytra and we get, you know, a bunch of resources and, you know, I'm talking like 20 episodes in the future. Imagine a big fat freaking castle on top of this thing. I think that would look spectacular. Look at that. Look at that mountain range. This place is perfect. This is like a prime base building place. I like it a lot. Okay, back to the not montage, but smooth cut to me probably another like hour or so. Oh, that is something that might be interesting. That's the new biome. What's it called again? I feel like I said it earlier. It's not like a dead forest or something. I don't remember. It's where the creaking spawn, and it's got a bunch of like gray blocks, which should be pretty interesting. I'm not really sure we can do too much with it, but I mean, it's good to have. You know, it saves us a trip if we end up needing the blocks later, I guess. Oh, Pale Oak. That's what it's called. Hang on, let me get up to it so we can go explore a little more. Whoa. Okay, yeah, this is my first time like fully like exploring this in modern versions. I tried it in a mod once when the version was first announced. Pale moss block. And then what is this? This is just pale oak? Yeah, pale oak log. Okay, interesting. I think it works the same way that dark oak does, so I think we're gonna need to get ourselves a bunch of these leaves, but from what I remember, we're not supposed to be here past dark, but I'm not hearing anything bad, so I'll just wait until until something interesting happens before I call it quits. What is this as well? Closed eye blossom. What the heck? Is this different from an opened eye blossom? That's interesting. All right, let me just get a bunch of these saplings. I wonder what they look like. They might be useful for... Oh, okay, those are kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie. Might be good for building at some point, though. What the heck was that noise? What the? These are open? This is a completely different item. Oh, what the frick was that? No, I'm getting out of here. No. Oh, crap, the creaking, that's what they're called. That's the thing that I need to be worried about, right? Let me sleep real quick. I was wondering where my bed was. It's literally in my hotbar. Yeah, I do not want to die. Creaking, you don't gotta worry about me, bud. I'm just gonna be over here, not worrying, if you're not worrying. Okay, I think we dodged a bullet there. Let's make sure not to die in this playthrough. Pretty sure the creaking is supposed to be like kind of like a mini boss, which is kind of interesting. Is it still? Oh, I feel like I'm hearing noises right. Ugh, this is gross. I do not like this place. Anyway, let's just get all these saplings so we never have to come back here. We can make our own at home. I think there's also some, I think it's like resin or something. It's like the orange ore that spawns inside these trees. If we find some, that's cool, but if not, I'm not too worried about it. Ooh, crap. That guy's got an enchanted bow. Is there still, I feel like I'm hearing something. I hate this place. There it is again! Okay, this place is cursed. I don't like it. I'm still not, I only have 2 of these freaking stupid saplings. You're gonna drop one soon? Come on, game. Come on. I just want one so I can leave. There's a 3rd, and there's a 4th. Okay, I am out of here. Mr. Horsey, come pick me up. There you are, Horsey. Do not run away from me. This is like the worst time for you to leave. You gotta stay by me. Protect me, please. Still no sign of dark oak, though. That is something that I really want. It's the only reason why I'm, what is it now? 3,000 blocks out. I'm cooked. Okay, well, I mean, realistically, I feel like I kind of just want to go, like, out a bunch and then make my way back home in a different direction. So I can, I'll be heading back home, but I'll still be covering more ground. I came in that direction, like, from there to there. So now, I think I just go in this direction. Oh, and it's raining, great. I go in this direction and then make my way back home from there so that I can cover more ground. Are you kidding me? That's dark oak. Bro, you're freaking kidding me. Right as I'm saying it, I hate this game. This game has been toying with my emotions too much. Oh my gosh. I just want to make it a little clear here. I have been at this for right about 45 minutes. We got stuck in some caves earlier. I almost died. I wasn't recording when I had that clip open, but I almost died. So, the series might have just been over, but this has been quite the journey, only just so on the way back, we finally get dark oak. Are you stinking kidding me? I have the worst luck on the planet. And it's so dark out because it's raining too. It's not even like pretty out. Whatever, I gotta cope a little bit here, okay? At least I have dark oak now. That's the worst of it done for. There we go. We finally got ourselves enough saplings. So, okay, we got some extra there, a little bit of a bonus. But now I'm just gonna take down a couple of these trees so I can at least bring some with me. Obviously, I don't want to have to set up a bunch of ugly farms back at my base, so getting as much of this dark oak while we're here seems important. Oh, crap, there's a bear down there, too. Okay, I gotta be a little bit careful. I do not want to get mauled by a bear while I'm out here. Especially, I don't want my horse to get mauled, because then that means it's gonna take forever to get back home, which is not optimal at all. Alright, I'm content. That should be more than enough. Oh my gosh, these footsteps are making me go freaking crazy. I know I said earlier there's no horror mobs in this, but I mean, realistically, this biome is more than enough to spook me. Come on, Mr. Horsey, it's time to go home. Let's get out of this stupid rain. Oh my gosh. How the heck did I not just die there? Oh, Horsey, I am so sorry. Could have been it. That could have been the world. Holy crap. Okay, I gotta keep a little bit closer attention to this. That's for sure. That was almost bad. Okay. Yep, I gotta be more careful. I don't think I've ever been that jump scared in my entire life. Okay, let's pay a little bit closer attention to our surroundings now, don't we, Horsey? Oh my goodness, we are almost home. I see it over this hill right here, and there we are. Oh, it is so good to be home, especially with Horsey back in our reels. Do we have ourselves, how do I make a lead? Oh, that's actually incredibly cheap. Let me get a lead for Mr. Horsey here. Just so he doesn't, okay, just like he's exactly doing right now. I don't want you to run off anymore, Mr. Horsey. You are going to stay nearby until we can make you a horse pen. Is that clear, Mr. Sir? He just shook his head no. Okay, cool. He does not understand, but that's totally fine. At least we came home with some riches. We got ourselves some dark oak. This is absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I need to make that underground area feel exactly like a underground gambling dungeon. Now, just looking at the reference photos of the casino I'm trying to make, which if, you haven't been paying attention so far, the casino is also the storage unit. So, put those 2 and 2 together there. We're also gonna need some other resources. It looks like we have a lot of spruce right here, but I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna have to plant another one. Do we have any spruce? We do. Let's go ahead and use a quick setup to make ourselves a large spruce tree. I completely forgot I got rid of that whenever I was doing details. So let's just bring back the extra big spruce tree area over here. Just because the reason I do it out here, by the way, is because I really don't like the look of podzol. And whenever, you put it too close to grass, it turns all the grass into podzol, which really just stinks. So we're going to set that up over here. And then the good thing about dark oak is that it doesn't turn things into podzol. So we'll just go ahead and put these over here and wait for them to grow. That's going to be our extra bit of wood that we may or may not need for this build, but it's better to have it and not need it than it is to need it and not have it, so we might as well hold on to that. Let me just go ahead and abuse this chest monster for possibly the last time before we go down and get ready to detail the base. Now, something I do also want to do, where did I put all my diamonds? There they are. I want to go ahead and make myself a new diamond pickaxe and go ahead and get that enchanted up, because honestly, the one I got right now is not very good. So let me fix that. All right, we got a bunch of crap. So, I mean, it's not anything special, but I guess I'll go ahead and throw in efficiency. Makes it a little bit easier to mine, I guess. So that's fine. We'll deal with it for now. We'll keep this diamond pickaxe. Maybe this will go in our little memoriam as our first ever diamond pickaxe. Maybe that could be pretty cool. So let's just head down to the basement so we can start penning out what we want this place to look like. Now, the more I'm looking at it right here, it feels kind of small and cramped, but realistically, we're going to knock back these walls a little bit to make way for the chests. So it's not like there's going to be chests like poking out like this, so it's only a 1-gap hallway. No, the chests are going to be in the walls, which means that this is going to be our 3-gap hallway. So it'll look perfectly fine when we actually put in the details. But until then, I'm thinking what we do is we just use this interior right here on this internal circle as the pillar walls. So let's just go ahead and do something like this and take a look back and see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. We'll have like a staircase as well. I don't know where we're going to put that. Maybe on the center. Have it kind of like the staircase from the opening of Inception. I'm pulling in a couple of movie references here that I'm sure not everybody knows about, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you probably know what I'm talking about, so you can see the vision. We're gonna have the stairway start on either corner right here and go down about halfway, and then meet in the center, and then go down even more to make it to the ground floor. I hope that makes sense. If I'm not making sense, then it's whatever. I tried my best. All right, that looks great having those on the corners right there. I'm pretty sure I want to go ahead and use this spruce to our advantage, though. I think the floors should be spruce, but I'm also thinking we maybe bring in like a little palisade right here. Palisade? I don't know what they're called. A barrier, so we don't fall off. I think that could be pretty cool. I do want to give it kind of a unique design. I don't just want to use the typical like fences. I'm thinking we just throw in a bunch of spruce trap doors. Let's see how this looks. How are we feeling about that? I mean, it's okay. It's not bad at all, but it kind of covers up a lot of the wall. And the cool thing about this base is that I want to be able to see all the chests on the walls. So maybe we don't go with that for the final decision. You know what could be cool? We have some new resources that we're able to toy around with. We messed with it in the last episode a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how to make them. I think we need a little bit of slabs here. They're called like shelves. Oh, okay, hang on. I think I remember how to do it. You basically just have to take, I think it's 6 of them, and then you strip the wood just like this. This might be a little bit expensive now that I'm thinking about it. And then you take it into here. Here we go. Spruce shelf. That's an interesting texture. Hang on. Let's take a look at this right here. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we want. Oh, you know what? We can also put some of these above where the chests go as like an item label. So like, let's say I want to put wood in a chest underneath this. Oh, that's so freaking sick. Okay, this is gonna be the best. This is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Okay, but as I was saying before I got sidetracked, we can use these walls right here as kind of like an extra thick slab on the sides here. How does this look? Oh, that's so much better. We still won't be able to see behind it, but I think it just breaks up the monotony of that wall so good. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna go with that design. Having this interior wall right here just be all these trapdoors, I think it just makes sense. You know, we're not really gonna need to abuse this space too often, so I think it should be fine. All right, well, with that design in mind, I just want to go around and finish all of the walls around here and then set up that stairway just so we can get some good transportation back and forth between the layers, just so we don't have to keep using this water stream on the side. Actually, I might as well just take this out while I'm here. And bang! I'm pretty sure this is the design we're going to be rocking for this. I went ahead and used some of the dark oak to make some trapdoors for the sides here. I might end up swapping that out. I'm not too sure how I like it, but this is going to be perfect. It gives the perfect vantage spot so you can look down into the gambling dungeon, where all the degenerates do their work. And you can, you can stay up here and, enjoy all that there is to sort and put your items and stuff. I don't know. Maybe we could do something cool eventually where there's like guards here and the only way you can get down into the gambling dungeon is to deposit diamonds into the sorting system or something. I don't know. It's got wishful thinking, but I do think it is going to be a very cool concept. I mean, name the last time you heard somebody make their storage system into a gambling dungeon. I can't think of one. And also, it's a bunker, like if there's ever like a tornado above, not that there would be, but if there was, we'd have a good place to stay safe. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing things against the wall here. But with that all done and wrapped up, I got an idea that we can go ahead and accomplish for the next part of this build. Let me go down here and show you real quick. But basically, my thought process is I don't want this place to just reek of just dull wood colors, all of this brown. There's like no color variation. And what's like one of the most iconic parts of a casino? It's the red carpet. We need to get our hands on some red carpet. But, as you may have seen in the first episode, if you were here with me with that one, there are like no sheep in this area. So, using the new leads, I had them in my inventory earlier, but using the new recipe for the leads that we used on Mr. Horsey, let's go grab ourselves some sheep from distant lands so we can set them up in our little dungeon so we can get a bunch of carpet put in this place. I think it's going to look spectacular. The red wool popping against all of this dull coloring here, this is going to look spectacular. Now, in order to get our hands on a bunch of sheep, we are going to need to start breeding them, so let's go ahead and bring along a bunch of this wheat. I'm really glad I made this now, this would not be possible without this big of a farm. And hey, I completely forgot about it, but we're actually getting a bunch of XP from this as well, which should help in enchanting later down the line. Maybe while we're out, we'll get some cows as well. We can start breeding those so we can get more books and then eventually make some enchantment table like levels and stuff like that. That could be pretty good. All right, Mr. Horsey, let's go on a journey real quick. Now, like I said earlier, there are not a lot of sheep in this world, but what I did, or at least nearby at the very least, I haven't checked the entire world obviously, but where I did find them last time was down by the water. If it was any easier to get through this area, I'd be so happy. Maybe I should install that mod that makes, oh, that's a skunk. Okay, get away from that. Maybe I should install that mod that makes it so you can like drive through leaves super easy. That might be good. Okay, there are cows here. Like I said earlier, those might be important later, but right now our priority is to get sheep. Okay, not seeing any right now. That's a great sign. Just more cows. Okay, where were those in the first couple of days, huh? Unfortunately, this forest is full of wolves, which means that a lot of the sheep just end up dying because the wolves just eat them. But I mean, it is the natural order of things. Ah, sheep. Hello. Oh, there's two of them. Perfect. That wasn't too far. That's pretty easy. All right, this might be difficult to lead them with me. So I just got to keep an eye on them and make sure the lead doesn't snap, especially because we're going through such a dense forest. If my lead snapped, that'd be very, very, very bad. Well, not very, very bad. They're really cheap, actually, but I just don't have to lose these sheep. All right, sheep, just follow behind me, okay? No need to get lost here. You can just stick close to Mr. Jumbo and no reason to get lost. Oh, crap, there's a dog right there. Okay, let's evade the confrontation with the dog. You guys just come with me, okay? No reason to panic. Okay, there's other animals here. Don't worry. Sheep, you're gonna be safe with me. I will make sure you do not get attacked. I promise, I promise. Where'd the other one go? Okay, there we go. We still got him. Oh, crap, the dog. No. Oh, dog, I'm sorry. Please don't attack me. Please don't attack me. I'm so sorry. You guys didn't see that. You guys better be the most awesome sheep ever, okay? I did that for you. This is all your fault, sheep. I wouldn't have to do this if you just played by the rules and stuck by me, but no. Now I feel like a jerk. All right, come with me, sheep. That dog's life will not be in vain. I'm gonna get so many angry comments about that. I can already tell. Listen, guys, okay, I don't want to defend myself in attacking that dog, but he was trying to kill my sheep, okay? What was I supposed to do? Next time, I'll be sure to carry some bones with me so I can tame the dog and put it, sit it down before attacking. I promise, I promise. All right, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Let's get these sheep inside. All right, sheep, you guys just stay here, I guess. I can always, use wheat to get you inside. Mr. Horsey, you just stay right here. All right, what an excursion. That was exciting. How am I supposed to get you through? You guys might be a little too fat for the door. Are you gonna get in? Come on, bud. Come on in. Yep, other one, come here. Perfect. All right, let me just lock this up behind you. Can you get inside? Thank you. Move your fat butt. There we go. All right, Mr. Sheepies, let's come to... Stop. That's my room. Stop it. Come here. Let's bring him downstairs. Come on. Let's go gambling, guys. You guys love gambling. Everyone knows sheep love gambling. That's like their main calling card. Is that something that people know? I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out my butt right now. I'm trying to make useful commentation. It's not really working great. All right, come on, just a little further, sheep. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. You know what? This should be fine. Let's have the sheep be down here. I mean, what's more fitting than having sheep in your gambling dungeon? You know, like that's everyone knows that's completely normal. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Let me go grab some red wool though, so we can dye these guys up, just so we can get started on all of that wool. We're gonna need so much of it. All right, let me just grab these poppies right here. I got some red dye. Oh, it looks like all the trees have grown too. We might have to go harvest those soon. And there we go. All 3 of them, including the adorable little baby sheep. Oh, you look cute. Are all red. This is perfect. We can go ahead and get started on the world. Now, I'm kind of 50-50. Do I want to use whole wool blocks for the floor, or do I want to use carpets? Ooh, this is a good question. This requires a lot of thinking, okay? Can we get Socrates on the case? I'm thinking we're going to use carpets. A, because they're cheaper, and then B, because if I ever want to swap them out for another color, all I got to do is just, drop a water bucket down on the ground. Also, it might make it a little bit easier to hide lights, because I just realized if we have lights everywhere, it's going to look kind of ugly. So, placing a torch underneath it and then having the carpet on top would kind of be the perfect way to hide lighting. So I think we're going to use carpets. I think that's probably the best bet. Oh, crap. You know what I just realized? This is kind of a big prop. Where did the other sheep go? Hello? Okay, yeah, you know what? You can just go outside. What I was gonna say is that I realized is that the sheep need grass in order to grow their wool back, so we're just gonna have to let these guys out. Oops, that's kind of my bad. All right, Mr. Sheep, listen, you can come back outside. I brought you in here for nothing. I'm so sorry. Let me go get your friends. That was kind of silly. I completely forgot they need grass in order to grow their wool back. So, oops. I kind of had a stupid moment. My bad. All right, sheepies, out here. Come get your succulent grass. All right, don't ruin my lawn, though. That'd be bad. All right, I'll come back for you. Do not trample my crops. I'll come back when you guys have more wool to offer. Until then, I want to go ahead and get started on making the rest of the build look absolutely beautiful. We got the floors covered. Well, I mean, not the upper floors covered, but we got the bottom floor covered. We got the palisades covered. It's time to worry about the walls. Like I said, we're going to put a bunch of the chests inside of here. I'm thinking we do like kind of side by side so they can get double chests in there as well. But that's not going to account for everything. We still need pillars. We still need the backdrop behind those, and we need the ceiling. So I feel like we got to figure that out. I could just keep it simple. I think definitely we are going to keep it simple with the pillars going up. I'm pretty sure that's just going to be some more dark oak. But with the ceiling, I kind of want to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe what we can do is we can have a full layer of spruce on the side. And what we do is we bring it up by 1 block and then place a slab in the center between it. So it looks kind of like an archway. Then what we can do is we can take some of our extra trap doors. Maybe we end up using some of the dark oak ones and make like a little surrounding of the pillar here. I think that could also look pretty cool, just to make it seem like this is a bunker, like we're underground right now. I don't know. I'm gonna experiment with some designs here, and I'll come back to you with how it looks. Alright, I am back with a little bit of a progress update. It's nothing like super duper crazy, but I went ahead and fleshed out some of the ideas that I wanted to do. I also had to go back and get some more spruce and dark oak because I was running very, very, very low. But I think it's a little easier to see it from down here. As you can see, I changed the floor pattern for the second floor. The whole point of this thing is to just make it so it's like super duper brooding. Not like bat cave brooding, but the whole point is just to be like dark. Or is that a witch that I'm hearing? What the? Hang on a second. I gotta take care of this. Okay, well, I guess there's no witch. I could have sworn I just heard a witch. What the? That is so weird. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't want to make it super duper dark and brooding and mopey and stuff like that, but I do want it to look like kind of gothic and, hidden. Because again, the whole point of this is to be, a secret bunker. It's supposed to look like, oh, this is a secret. We need to hide this. Oh, something nefarious is happening down here. It's kind of like if you've ever watched Young Sheldon, not that I imagine very many of you would have. They have like the secret gambling room, and it's cool, but it's like they got to keep it a secret because it's against the law. that's kind of what I want this to be. Let me do a little bit of a cheeky look around. Is there? Oh, there freaking is. Okay, at some point I'm gonna have to go in and light up a bunch of these caves nearby. I don't like checking around for those kinds of things because it seems a little cheaty, but I mean, when it's making sure that I don't hear annoying noises 24/7, I feel like it's kind of worth it. Anyway, as I was saying, this is kind of what we're going for here. You see, the back end of the walls are full oak blocks. The accents are going to be spruce to keep it a little bit lighter, and then we have this kind of arched spruce roof right here. I don't know if this makes much sense, but it's basically supposed to be like an arc between these two. I think it looks pretty cool. We're going to add another palisade in the center here, so not on this layer like this, but one above. We're basically just going to knock out that stone and make a pillar going on the top, so it looks like it's reinforced, and then we're just going to copy this design across the entire thing. I think that's going to look perfect. But the reason why I punched this out is to show you exactly where we're going to put the chests. Now, because the chests are like, we'll poke out a little bit. Let me show you what I mean. Here, just like this. When we place chests like this, as you can see, we can see the corner of the block underneath them, which is gonna look super duper ugly if we just leave it like that. So before we place down all the chests, we basically just gotta tear out this area and fill it in with something like spruce. It's kind of annoying and it's very resource intensive, but I don't know, I hate looking at the gap between chests, so it's going to be super duper necessary. Again, it's going to suck, it's going to be kind of expensive, but I'm not going to lie, it is totally worth it. And then something else that we have to do, oh, hang on, I got to grab some coal for this. There we go, we got some coal. Let me explain how we're gonna light this place up, because as you may know, I hate just leaving lights out in the open. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use these things to our advantage and put lights on the back of them. So whenever we put our chests, just like imagine like the chests are all the way to the top, the light will leak out from the top of that chest. So it'll light up the area and we don't require any like lights on the outside. It'll just be ambient lighting coming from the chests. Now, I have noticed that we can also see the top, like as we're standing right here, you can see the stone up there. I do have a solution for this though. Let me go ahead and grab, here it is. If we take some spruce stairs and put them like this and just basically line this area with stairs, let's do bottom stairs right there. Basically, if we put a chest underneath this, it'll look like a solid block, but you can still open it because chests can go through stairs. I think that's a perfect solution. It makes it just a little bit cleaner. Great. Okay, now that we have that, set up all planned out, I'm going to spend some time knocking down this entire area and filling it up with everything that we need. This might take a second though, so enjoy the time lapse. Holy guacamole, this has probably been the biggest project I have undertaken so far. And that's saying a lot because I have multiple 100 days videos on my channel at this point, so this is a big undertaking. I really hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I'm having a ton of fun on these projects. And guys, if you haven't already, please consider liking the video because it helps me a lot more than you think. Overall, it's just the best way for both me and for YouTube to know that you are liking this series. But all in all, I am thinking this place is looking spectacular. I am so glad we took this project on today. All right, check it out. Other than this little slice of the ceiling right here, which is going to be a pain to finish, the rest of the first floor is completely done. Eventually, I'll come in. I think I'm going to add an ender chest and like some anvils or something. Give these little nooks some appreciation outside of, not being the chest areas. There is so much space for storage that we had the ability to just put in these little nooks for, I don't know, we could put like an armor stand here or something. I'm not too sure, but it could be cool. Oh, you know what actually could be cool? Maybe eventually once we get like a slime farm or, a honey farm, we could replace some of these with waterfalls that have the honey where like an item falls down the honey fall and it looks really cool. That could be neat. I haven't really decided, but I wanted to do something now that we have all of our chests for the build, which I calculated it. I might be wrong. We might need more, but I want to do this because this is super duper satisfying just to place so many chests. Cue the montage. Okay, that was not enough chests, but hopefully that was enjoyable. We finished out this part. All we got is a little bit extra chest that we got to fill out here. That's fine. I'll go ahead and figure that out. But this place is looking spectacular. other than the downstairs, which is what we gotta figure out right now. Now, the walls I want to keep kind of simple, and you already know we got all this red wool for the ground, but everything else is kind of wishy-washy. This place is super barren. I want to get something set up that has at least 1 or 2 games down here that we can play to make it actually a gambling area, or a casino, I'm pretty sure they're called. Now, there is a couple of designs that I've seen online before. Hang on, I gotta get some blocks. Here we go, some moss. Now, normally, the design that I'm thinking of requires us to get a cactus to be able to make green dye, to make, like, green carpets, but something cool about moss, sorry, I'm just trying to find a good place to put it. Oh, hang on, I got a good idea. Something cool about moss is that you can turn it into moss carpets, which is a pretty good replacement for green carpets. So, as long as we have moss, we don't need green dye. Now, that isn't saying that we shouldn't get green dye. Eventually, we'll get our hands on it, but for now, it's not super important. Let me quickly grab, oh crap, I don't have any, hang on. Let me quickly grab some stuff so I can make some bone meal. I gotta be able to, bone meal this moss to get some more, just like that. This is a cool little thing I got situated in the house. You know, it's nice. It doesn't take up too much room, and it's functional. It's kind of loud though. But basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take signs like this and put moss carpets on top of them, and as you can see, the top of the sign goes through the moss carpet. It's a solid block, you can jump on top of it and do whatever you want, but the sign still peeks through. And you know what this reminds you of? A pool cue. If you've ever played pool, like the game with like the cue balls and stuff like that, the stick that you use for it, it looks like it's laying on top of the table, which this is a design that's used quite a lot. You've probably seen it before someplace. I think they even use it in like Hypixel and stuff like that. But I'm gonna use it to make a custom pool table in the downstairs of my base. I think that's pretty cool. And you know, there's some other ideas that have been floating around. I'm trying to think of some good designs that we can do to make like slot machines and other things of that nature. I think there's a lot of room to toy around and just have some fun with the designs on this thing. It is going to be epic. But in order to make things epic, we are gonna need a lot of moss. Well, not a lot of moss, but enough moss to get ourselves a couple of carpets. Which, honestly, this right here might be more than enough. We'll leave the rest of down here just in case we need more in the future. But for now, I think we're pretty perfect. And holy mackerel, I am being blinded by the sun right now. Good gracious. I may need to tweak these shaders a little bit more. But pretty much here's the plan. What we gotta do is we gotta mark out an area. I think we'll just use this right here. A 5x3, just like this. Fully surrounded by these trapdoors. Then we take a couple of these signs where we want the pool cues to be. I'm thinking we do there, right there, and sure, right here. That looks great. Then what we do is wherever we didn't place those signs, we fill it in with solid blocks, just like this. And then we cover the entire thing in moss carpets. Just like that. And boom, we got ourselves a nice little pool table. That looks great. There are some alterations we can make to it eventually that are a little bit more advanced. We need to get our hands on blackstone bricks, I'm pretty sure, and you can make it look like the hole in the corner, but it requires some like redstone because you got to make the corner of some stairs and then punch out those corners so it leaves only the hole. I don't have enough time or patience to do that right now, but for now, this looks pretty great. Now, for the rest of the design, I'm thinking what we do is we treat it pretty simple. All we need is a clean block. I would normally use something like quartz or something like that, but that would require me to go to the nether, and I don't want to do that. Hang on, let me sleep first. So instead, we can just go ahead and use a bunch of the polished diorite instead. We had a bunch of that from before whenever we made the house. I think we had some left over. Oh, wait, hang on a second. We got pale oak logs. Why don't we just use that? Ooh, that could be pretty cool. I think this looks super clean, so we can actually use a bunch of those. And maybe we top it off with some birch. You know, putting some of the underrepresented and underused wood types to work. I mean, might as well. They're just hogging space in my chests right now. And then all we need are some seats. I have a cool design for seats. I just need a little bit more wood. Hang on, let me grab some. Oh, crap. Hang on. My diamond axe is about to break. Let me make sure not to break that. All right, I went ahead and got some wood. For this design of chair, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of smooth stone. We don't need a ton of it, but just enough to make a couple slabs. You may be seeing where I'm about to go with this. Then we're also gonna need some iron. Now, we don't have a ton of it, but it should be enough, and, well, you know, we'll go get some more eventually. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves some smooth stone slabs and use those to make armor stands. We only need a couple, though. I'm thinking, yeah, 4 should be more than enough. Actually, 4 might be too much. We do not have enough iron. You know what? We'll leave one of those down here. Actually, hang on. We can put one of these to use before we make those chairs, and I'm thinking... Oh, wait, hang on. There's a perfect spot for this. I want to put my first armor set up on display. Let's do it right here. Perfect. It'll greet us every time we come down to the casino. While the iron smelts, we'll go ahead and grab it real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we got all the armor from our first armor set down here now. Let's go ahead and put this on and see how this looks. And boom, now it's there to remind us of where we started. Perfect. And now, I think our iron should be ready for us. First things first, we gotta plan out where we want these to go. I think we'll have the slot machines be right here. That should be fine. Then we just strip these logs and add in our birch on top. Perfect, that looks great. Then we have to plan out where our seats are gonna go. We're just gonna put them, I think we'll do one right here and then have the rest of these like tucked out a little bit, just so it doesn't get in the way of the stairs. What we have to do is we have to dig these down 2 blocks, just like this. Place some slabs down right here and add trapdoors going along right there. Then, this is where it gets a little complicated. We have to add our armor stands onto this. We give them hats. Hang on, let me craft some. Just like this. And then we do the unthinkable. We drop them down to the half blocks. This is pretty neat. Okay, so now it's already halfway to looking like a chair, but all we gotta do is take it one step further by getting ourselves some handles for those chairs. And hang on a second, I just realized we can't actually... we have to use some redstone. Hang on, let me go grab some materials. All right, that took longer to get than I'd like to admit, but at least we're here. Let's go ahead and take these spruce fence gates and put them up against the walls like this. All we gotta do is open them and then quickly add ourselves a piston over top. Just like that, and boom, look at that. That's what our chairs are gonna look like. I think this looks spectacular. Not only can you pass through them and they don't obstruct anything, but they're like the perfect size for a little cushion. And hang on, I got an idea to take it a little bit further. I know I keep adding details to it, but I can't stop. I'm addicted. I guess that's kind of the point of a casino, I guess. We can also add a sign to the back like this to cover up the ugly back part of the helmet, and it still looks great. Not only is it still completely pass-throughable, but it adds a little bit of a back to the chair. Now, it's not perfect, you know, we can't get a perfect chair in Minecraft, but this is as close as we can get, you know. It's nice and comfy for all the elderly people to do their penny slots, you know. 777, we got ourselves a jackpot. Guys, please, if you are gambling age, please gamble responsibly. I do not advocate for this. This is not an advocation for gambling. Let's go ahead and finish up the rest of this area, and I think we should be good to go. That looks great. Obviously, it's not fully detailed, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're about to do. Guys, this episode has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, please enjoy detail time. Like I said, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. It was an absolute blast to record. Not only did we get all the storage set up, but we also went ahead and got ourselves full diamond armor and a nice base to look at. If you guys have enjoyed today's video and you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to see another video just like this, click the video on the screen right now. Again, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.